Well, remember this moment, because you're one of those girls who peaks in high school. And if you wake up one day still living in Staten Island, still screwing the same guys, wondering what the hell happened to your life. If you want to know where I am from now on, sign up and watch me.
What if a simple game could push you to risk everything, like your safety, your privacy, including your life, for the thrill of strangers watching behind a screen? That is exactly what the movie Nerf 2016 explores. Even though this film came out 9 years ago, it is more relevant today than ever before. On the surface, it looks like a fun dare app where you can make money. You can be a watcher or a darer. The choice is yours on which one suits you best. Underneath this fun app though, there's a chilling reflection of how social media can turn entertainment into something far worse, something dangerous. Today I will be breaking down why Nerf 2016 proves that when likes, money, and attention are on the line, the game stops being fun and it starts to become a complete nightmare. With a budget of $19 million, Nerf made $85 million worldwide at the box office, and it was considered a success. This is one of those films I feel like it was ahead of its time. If this film was released today, it would have made much more money. This was an era where TikTok wasn't even invented just yet, and quick short form content was underutilized. A few months after the release of Nerf, TikTok was released in China on September 2016. 2 years later, it became the most downloaded app in the United States on October 2018. Fast forward a little more, in the year of 2022, TikTok had over 3 billion downloads and over 1 billion active users each month. With the rise of this new app, a new generation of internet users were introduced to social media. Nerf 2016 showed how normal people can make money and become famous overnight. By prioritizing validation over safety, the characters in Nerf take on increasingly dangerous challenges because they crave approval from the watchers. The more outrageous or shocking the dare was, the more likes, attention, and money they earn. This mirrors real social media trends where people risk injury or humiliation just to go viral. The danger isn't the dare itself, it's the mindset that online validation is worth more than personal well-being. Once that cycle starts, safety becomes secondary to entertainment. To go further into detail about how the game manipulates people into playing, we need to get familiar with the main characters of the movie. Starting off with V, played by Emma Roberts. V was a shy, cautious high school senior who usually played life safe and avoided risk. She felt overshadowed by her more outgoing friends and struggled with her confidence. She chooses to play Nerf because she wanted to break out of her comfort zone, also to prove she isn't boring, and to finally take control of her own life instead of always playing it safe. Ian, played by Dave Franco, was a mysterious, charismatic young guy who seemed more at ease with dangerous dares and a person who thrives in the excitement of the game. He plays Nerf because he's already deeply involved in the system, using it as a way to survive financially and escape his own past mistakes, even if it meant putting himself at risk. V plays Nerf to break free from her safe, predictable life and to prove she wasn't invincible, while Ian played for survival, already entangled with the game. Their choices reflect how social media appeals to different desires: validation for some and escape for others. Both paths, though, leads to losing control. This leads me to my second reason how Nerve proves social media can be dangerous entertainment. Lots of privacy and control. Once a player enters the game, it takes over their lives, their personal data, secrets, and their digital identity are weaponized against them, trapping them in the system. Close to the ending of the film, quitting for both V and Ian wasn't an option anymore because they became prisoners of the game and it would have exposed their vulnerabilities. This mirrors how social media platforms collects massive amounts of personal data and how quickly privacy can be stripped away when someone goes viral. Online fame feels like you're on the top of the world, and it might feel empowering at first, but in reality, it can take control away from you and your privacy. Another reason how Nerve proves social media can be dangerous is by luring the players with the promise of instant wealth and overnight stardom. This was disguised as a trap. The more you play, the harder it was to quit. The dares became more dangerous, but the only thing that motivated the player to keep going was the increased rate of money per dare. Social media works the same way. Influencers are pressured to constantly outdo themselves for clicks, sponsors, and followers. Don't get me wrong, Nerve exaggerates this by turning dares into a literal paycheck, but the truth of the matter is clear. When entertainment is tied to money and status, it pushes people to risk their lives sometimes. The last and most important reason how Nerve proves social media can be dangerous is by having the watchers enable cruelty. The watchers in the film are faceless and untraceable, which gives them power without responsibility. They can demand players to perform humiliating or even life-threatening dares while never facing consequences themselves. This is kind of the same dynamic you see online, where hate mobs and trolls push people to their extremes for amusement without caring about the damage left behind. One thing about the real world is that the creator has control of what they'll like to post on the internet. At its core, Nerve 2016 wasn't just a flashy thriller about dangerous dares. It's a reflection how social media can turn validation, attention, and entertainment into something toxic. V joins the game to prove she's more than the safe girl everyone thinks she is, while Ian played to escape a past he couldn't outrun. Their stories show that whether we're chasing confidence or survival, the game didn't care. The watchers will always demand more, and that is the dark, scary truth behind Nerve. It proves that when entertainment thrives on risk and viewership numbers, people stop being players and start becoming pawns. Maybe the real question isn't why the players play, but why, as a society, we keep watching.